Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I sound a bit tired, but I'm recording this in the morning. Also sorry for posting so early, but I got some stuff to do today. And well, let's see what's happening with Cardano. As you can see right now, we're still going down, and well, obviously I cannot confirm that the low right here is in because we do not have 5 waves up, but by the looks of it, if you zoom in on the 1 hour chart, I mean, this could turn into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, which could turn into the first wave of that 5-wave move to the upside that we need. But yeah, this is obviously not enough. Now the good thing is we had a reaction to the support level, and well, this means that at some point we might have to go up. Of course, I mean, maybe we're gonna test the support level again, and if we do, we have to hold, the 0.618, which is at 62.5 cents. If we do not hold that level, we will most likely drop to the next extension, which is the 0.786 support level, and that is at 57.3 cents. And that's the last support zone, so if we do not hold here, there is always the possibility that we get some type of triple bottom here. Now, in my opinion, that's not gonna happen because, well, it would not really make that much sense considering the fact that we're about to have a cross in the bull market support band, and considering the fact that the S&P 500 is going up right now and it's above the bull market support band. I'm gonna talk about that as well in this video because there's not much else that we need to know about the short term of Cardano at least. And other than that, I mean, if you look at the RSI, I mean, we are above the moving average right here on the 4 hour, but this is not really enough to confirm that something bullish is going on. So we'll move on to the daily. On the daily chart, as you can see, we are seeing a bounce, and we did get to the oversold territory here, and I told you about this yesterday, but this could be a good sign because the last time we got to the oversold territory was in February when Cardano was in this area between 50 cents and 65 cents. So this could be a good sign, but obviously what we need to do right now is get above the moving average on the daily RSI, and then maybe I could say that the low might be in, just because we have been below the moving average since the second week of May right here, so for over a month at this point. And well, I mean, yeah, we'll see if that happens. We'll see if we get above the moving average. If we do, then the next target would be the bull market support band and then the 200-day moving average. So my targets remain the exact same for the daily. Now on the weekly chart, I believe today is Saturday, so as you can see, I mean, in like 2 days we're gonna have a close below the moving average right here, which is a bad sign, and well, this could lead to a much bigger correction. I'm not saying that we will get a correction if we close below it. However, the chances of that happening, I mean, they're going to be pretty high, just because I mean, usually when we get below the moving average, that's when the price goes to either a lower high, a higher low, or some type of double bottom, or in this case triple bottoms. So maybe that's gonna happen. Now keep in mind right here, when we were also going sideways, we did slightly drop below the weekly moving average on the RSI, and we did manage to close above it, and that formed another higher low right here. And maybe this is what we're gonna do right now, but if that's the case, then the next couple of weeks could be pretty boring, and maybe we just close below it this week, and then next week we test it, we get back above it, which means that after that we're gonna have to retest it again like we did over here, and then we could bounce. And if that's the case, then it could be pretty boring. And well, it would make sense if that were to happen, because the cross on the bull market support band on the weekly, at least, it's gonna happen in like a week or two. And well, if we judge this based on what happened in the previous couple of times when we had a cross, after a cross it usually took like 2 or 3 weeks at least to get some type of bounce. So we could be looking at a boring somewhere, but maybe in, let's say, next month, or in maybe August, we finally get that move to the upside. Like I told you, I'm not gonna give you any more time frames because I'm usually wrong about the time frames. What I am not wrong about, however, is the Elliott wave count, and well, the Elliott wave count suggests that we will most likely go up at some point in the third wave of the third wave. So yeah, that remains the exact same. Now, if we go on the monthly chart, I mean, we're, at the beginning of the month, so this is not really that important, but on the, monthly RSI, we stayed above the moving average, and this is a very good sign, and people seem to forget about this. Also, on the monthly chart, we have been going sideways for about 5 months at this point, and that's exactly what we did down here and even down here before we started going up. And maybe you could even look at the previous cycle and say that, hey, we were also doing it right here. So yeah, I mean, the going sideways is normal for the Cardano chart, but as you know from the past, at least after going sideways for a couple of months, Cardano usually likes to get these pumps over here. So this is what I'm waiting for right now. Now, for these pumps to happen, we need to, drop on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and well, the drop has not started yet. We had a fake out last month, and right now we are almost at cycle highs again, which is not a great sign. We are also above the moving average on the weekly RSI, as you can see, which could mean that we're about to get another cycle high here, and if we do, well, I think that could be the last one, because we had a cross on the bull market support band here, and the red line got above the green line, and the last time this happened was right here last year in November, and as you can see, after that we dropped quite a lot. So even if we go higher right now, I am expecting some kind of drop in the next couple of weeks, just because we had a, cross right here, and we'll see what happens with that. Bitcoin is still going down right now, which is pretty normal. Please do not forget what I said a couple of weeks ago. I told you that this move right here looks very similar to what we had here. And as you can see here, we got above the bull market support band. Then we waited for a cross, as you can see. And during that time, we just, went sideways. But then after we had the cross, a couple of weeks later, we had this pump right here. And if you go on the weekly chart, on the Bitcoin chart, as you can see, we just had a cross. I think this was last week. And if we judge this based on what happened, right here, as you can see, we actually pumped in the third week after the cross. So I'm not saying that it's going to happen, the exact same way, but maybe you could also look at what happened over here. And if that's the case, I mean, here we had a cross. And as you can see, during that time, yes, we did go up, but we actually, did not really go up that much. And you could say that the real pump actually started about 3 weeks after the cross. And well, maybe this is what we're dealing with over here. I have no idea. All I know is that at some point we're gonna start going up, and we will most likely get in this target region before we get some type of summer drop. So yeah, that's all you need to know about that. Now, going to the S&P 500 chart, I have not talked about this chart in quite some time, but it's going up, and it's important to understand why the S&P 500 is actually important and why it's relevant in this scenario. And it's because when the S&P 500 goes up, that's when Bitcoin goes up as well. So if this continues going up, then Bitcoin will most likely continue going up as well. Now, as you can see on the S&P 500 chart, we're about to have a cross in the bull market support band, which is very, very bullish. And I've been talking about this chart pretty much since April, since this low right here. And I told you that this low could be extremely bullish because we got to the oversold territory on the weekly chart. And well, by the looks of it, that was a good call, because when the S&P 500 was down here, I told you that the low is most likely in, because like I said, we got to the oversold territory exactly like we did over here. And why is that important? Why is the oversold territory so important? Because we only got to it a couple of times in the, last couple of years. Let's say last about 20 years, we only got below it like 5 times. And well, yeah, this is a good sign. And right now, as you can see, we got a bounce. And usually when the S&P 500 drops below the bull market support band, like it did over here, that is a sign that the bear market has started. If we do not manage to get back above it, I mean, as you can see right here in 2022, when the S&P dropped below the bull market support band after having a cross, that pretty much confirmed that the bear market started. Yes, we did slightly get above it, but we never really closed above it. And right now, in this, in these times, it does not seem to be the same, because yes, we did drop below it, and we did have a cross before dropping below it, but then we got back above the bull market support band, and this is extremely good. And in my opinion, the bull market is not over, meaning that the S&P 500 will most likely go higher. And if that happens, then Bitcoin will go higher as well. And if Bitcoin goes higher, then Ethereum will go higher. And speaking of Ethereum, it had a cross in the bull market support band. And I cannot stress this enough, but the cross on the bull market support band is extremely important. Please do not forget we are also, above the moving average on the weekly. So I think this is bullish, and well, what we had over here looks exactly the same as this over here and this over here. I mean, we only got to the oversold territory about 3 times on the weekly. Now, of course, on this cycle, we did not really quite get to the oversold territory. However, we were very close to it. And well, yeah, it looks like exactly what we did over here and over here. And as you can see, after a while, after getting these lows, I mean, these were all bear market lows. After getting these lows, except for this one, I'm sorry, both of these were bear market lows and the third one was not. And yeah, I mean, right now, as you can see, after we got these, we just went up quite a lot. So I think in the next couple of months, Ethereum will get to all-time highs. And I mean, my prediction for Ethereum is still $6,400 by the end of the year, or actually by the end of the cycle, which should be at the end of the year. And Cardano remains the exact same, $5 to $8 by the end of the year. And well, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also, check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.